Hello folks, and welcome back to Space Engineers. I am your noob engineer host, and we're going to see what we can do today. So I have been working on my base, and I have an actual door on it. Hoo-hoo, I learned how to put on a door. As I said, I am a noob at this game. I am still trying to figure all of this stuff out. But the door actually works, which I'm surprised about that. So I have upgraded to the regular refinery and assembler away from the basics. And I've got a couple of cargo containers here, and I've got a tube going out that will hook to my flight deck, I guess you would call it. And one of the things I realized, I get fog in this. And when I get fog, the wind turbines do not work. So I have installed 3 large batteries to help me out. And we'll go outside here and check the place out. So that's my entrance now into my dungeon. And I also ran a cargo container out here because I was working on a bigger ship, and you can see it over there. And I really hate the design. So I have a design in mind. And I'm going to try to put that into action. So this, I'm going to tear most of this out and then try it and see if it'll work. I've got my windmill farm over here, wind turbines. I added a few more and spaced them out, got them all where they're all optimal. And I still have not built stairs yet. But I have my space U-Haul. So I am calling it the Theopicus. Why? I don't know. I just thought it sounded funky. And I did get this one up and running again. So it is running after the crash. And I've mostly repaired because I crashed it. And yeah, didn't do it any favors. And I've also crashed this one once. But you can see why I call it the Space U-Haul now. It kind of looks like the back of a U-Haul truck. But I've got 3 batteries on here, 2 cargo containers. I got my ore detector and thrusters. So I don't think it's too bad for a first time ever building a ship from scratch. But I crashed it because I was trying to, I had what do you call it, the drill on the front of it. And I was trying to tilt down and drill and screwed that all up. And ended up crashing the ship and tearing it up pretty good. Oh, something else I learned, which was really cool. So in order to get, I didn't want it to just be locked here in case the base loses power. So I wanted to be able to lock it on the metal, but I couldn't do it because I couldn't get this where I needed it. So I installed a piston and used the piston to go up to a certain height, and that's how I'm doing that. And I did the same way with the other one. So put pistons in there. I saw somebody do that in a video, and I thought, yeah, let's try it, see what happens, and did pretty good. Unlock that. So, whoa. Space U-Haul got some kick. So I wanted to do some exploring today. As you can see, I am in a bowl. I have mountains all the way around me, and mountains as far as you can see. Where am I at now? Okay. So I have been in that direction. and found an ice lake and found some other supplies. I've been that direction and found a few things. I have not been this direction or... Wait a minute. Okay, there's my base. So I've been this direction. I have not been that direction. So that's the direction I want to head to and see what's out there. I want to get this thing level. When you tilt forward, you need strong thrusters to push you back. Yes, I need to put, I've got 3 thrusters on the front. I've got 3 on the back and 2 on either side. I'm using the Xbox, but I'm using mouse and keyboard. I figured out how to hook that up. I tried using the Xbox controller, and it is really tough to do that because, you know, if you want something, you got to hit the left trigger while pushing down on the right thumbstick and cocking your head to the backwards and singing Kumbaya. So it's just a lot of this way is not using the dampeners. Yes, and that's how I crashed the other ship. I turned the dampeners off and it just went haywire and went straight into the ground. So what I need to do is to put the forward thrusters on the down at the bottom, so I can turn the forward thrusters on and off. Yeah, I need a lot of practice. But I'm still learning all this. I figure I'm going to get a good bit of practice. So that looks like another valley. There's something down here. On my test playthrough, I was, because I've got another playthrough that I'm doing. It's the first one that I did just to, you know, get used to the buttons before I did anything on Twitch. And on that playthrough, about 3 or 4 days into it, actual game days, something landed about 5 kilometers away, and it looks like a huge base with a bubble. I don't know what that is. I did go over and check it out, and I could get in one door, and then I figured I better not stick around. I didn't know what it was. Didn't want to get shot. It's a high peak. So go down here and check this out. Ruh-roh. Let's bring the speed down a little bit. Go to V. Like I said, still trying to figure all of this out to get smooth at it. But I do know I can come down pretty quick. Let gravity pull me down. And then I've got enough thrust to stop me fairly fast. Ah, and I forgot to put the camera back on it. So I've been landing at the base using a camera on the bottom because I figured out where the camera needed to be in order to line it up and be able to land pretty fast. But during the crash I broke the camera and I forgot to put one back on it. Yes, I am planning on going into space once I figure out the land part. Trade station. I'd heard about those, but I never actually seen one, but I guess that's what that was. It's kicking up a lot of dust. I want to tear this thing up. Yep, wrong way. Ah, it wasn't level. Alright. Let's try it now. There we go, all locked. Alright, let's see what I can find. I find it easier doing it this way. For me. Okay, horizontal. I can control it better and I don't want to crash the ship. Got a big old rock there and some brown patches. I have to check those out. So let's see what the rock will give me. Silicon. Okay. GPS. See, I'm learning. Silicon. Close enough. So in the space U-Haul, I have 3 extra bottles of fuel for my rocket. Or my backpack. I am actually on my second life. My first one got snuffed out because I was trying to make it back to the pod and was going down in Ice Lake and was hauling butt and looking off to the left and slammed into the pod. And I was 18 kilometers from the base. So I had to get a few bottles to get me back to the ship. More silicon. and nickel and magnesium. Okay. Silicon. Silicon, magnesium, and crap. Nickel. Silicon, magnesium, and nickel. I figure I'm going to need to know where a lot more stuff is, because I found a few deposits. I have almost depleted one iron ore deposit, but I do have 2 others that I found. Gold. And I did find 1 gold already. So I have mined a bunch of that. There was something that I needed. Gold 2. And I forgot what it was now. Something to make a better drill. Mine is a 2. Titanium. So can I find titanium in the ground, or is that something that will be space? Oh, titanium doesn't exist in vanilla. Okay. Because it said I needed titanium to make a better drill. Better get back because I don't think I put extra bottle in here on me. I try to leave them in the ship so that I don't forget them. Okay, inventory. Yep, 28%. All right, let's head down this way. I like flying around like this. I know it's probably much more effective with the ship, but I'm getting practice. Cobalt, iron, and nickel. Getting practice at controlling myself. Cobalt, iron, and nickel. Plus, if I crash like this, then I just lose my life. I don't lose my ship. More gold. And silver. Here's a good spot. Gold, silver. Fly through the trees. So I have learned a lot about this game. I've been watching, of course I've been watching you mess around, and have learned a great deal, but I've also been watching Splitsy as a tutorial series out there, and I've been watching that to see if I can figure some of this stuff out. And actually enjoy watching them. Haven't been able to watch anything lately. With my daughter's move into her new apartment, kept us busy last week. And then my wife's Jeep broke down. So I've been busy with that the last couple of nights, but finally got it fixed. Back down in the valley. Careful not to hit a tree. Oh, the Jeep, how old is it? It's a 2006 Grand Cherokee. And she was driving it, and I've got a problem with number 5 cylinder. It keeps eating spark plugs, and it just, I think the rings are going in that side. But we're trying to, I change the spark plug every 2 weeks, put a new one in it, and it'll run good for 2 weeks, and then I have to do it again. But the other day she was driving it, and it started missing, so I put a new spark plug in it, and then it was missing even worse and stalling out on her, and it kept, every time you went to got up to 40 miles an hour, the four-wheel drive engaged, and still haven't. Oh, more nickel. Yeah, that's pretty close to the surface. But with the four-wheel drive engaging, it's stalling the vehicle out when she stops. So what I did was put in I put in all new plugs all the way around, and I realized one of the plugs had actually cracked the insulation. And as far as the going into four-wheel drive, I unhooked the computer, silicon nickel here, and hooked it back up and checked the ground and made sure the ground was okay. And then when I went to pick her up to test it out, it still came on for about 3 miles and then went off on its own and hasn't come back on since. So I don't know, maybe that was it. But the check engine light is still coming on. And also did a so I've had problems before. It was kind of hard to start, so I went ahead and changed the crank position sensor, because it's fairly easy to get to and inexpensive. So it seems to be doing okay right now. We'll see. Ouch. But like I said, the check engine light's still coming on. And it's blinking. But then it'll go right back off. So it's a Jeep. Newfangled one. Her last Jeep, it was a 96 model, and we had to get rid of it because she backed out of the garage with the door open and ripped the door off. But it had almost 270,000 miles on it. Ran like a champ, but yeah, it was rust bucket. All right. So I found some good stuff here. And let's go in and turn all of these off. I figured out how to do that, so I'm not seeing 10,000 different things. Hey, in this mode I'm playing in survival mode, of course. Okay, so the base is that way. I've seen people get unknown signals. Is that something in this game? Base leading to trouble such as cracking of the insulation and melting the electrodes. Oh, I don't know how to enable something. Yeah, I saw they were loot. Like I said, I was watching Splitsy, and he found a couple of them, but I have not seen one in this playthrough. So the other thing about the spark plugs, thinking it's deterioration also, that cylinder could be running very lean due to a dirty injector causing the deterioration. I thought of that, and I checked the injectors out. They're doing pretty good. All of the plugs are good except for number 5. They were all nice and dry. Now I did find that they were wore out more than they should have. I changed them 2 years ago. But they're a little more wore out than I thought they should have been. And then that one was cracked, which could be a defect, because I haven't had any problems out of that cylinder. But the cylinder number 5 that I have to change the plug in all the time, it builds up a lot of carbon really quick. And on the side of the plug where the washer is, Yeah, that's one thing that I did do. I put a higher octane in it when I filled it up today, and also put in an octane booster. Ooh, another ice lake. I'm going to need that. So we'll just park on it for a bit. Yeah, and I thought maybe it, well, my wife thought it could be the gas, but I get gas at several different stations. I don't like to get gas at just one station, because you never know when you're going to get some bad gas. And there's a couple of stations that I know of that are pretty bad in this area. They never clean their tanks out and they're full of water. But the Jeep's had problems pretty much since we've had it. I've had it 4 years now. Yeah, about 4 years. Got it from a dealership and they lied to us about some stuff. But she had to have a Jeep to replace her Jeep. She's a Jeep girl. Which I like Jeeps too. Just can't afford them. Around here, Jeeps go, price of them are jacked up pretty high because everybody wants a Jeep. But yeah, they lied to us about some stuff, and I've had to do a lot of work to the motor. Kept throwing. Kept throwing valve springs on one side. So after the second time of taking the valve cover off and putting the valve spring back on, I put a washer in it to lift it up a little bit, and that fixed that problem. But it wasn't a very... We thought the dealer was reputable. Turns out they weren't. When I found sawdust in the rear end, I knew that they were not very reputable.
Low.
Uh-oh.
Fuel critical.
Well, I should have checked that. And now I'm hoofing it. Which is why I like being close to the ground. I have one more full bottle in there. Excuse me. I need to put a couple of more in there if I'm going to keep doing this. But I want to make a smaller scout ship that I can run around these places with a lot of juice in it and not so much carry capacity, but maneuverability. And that way I can get closer to the ground, and one that, you know, didn't cost as much as this one to put together. Yep, nothing. Oh, nickel. Got a few nickel deposits that I found. And I got a whole bunch of nickel. Nice. I found one nickel deposit and I pretty much got all of the nickel out of it. So I have a question about this game I haven't been able to figure out the answer to. I think I know the answer, but the respawn, your respawn area, magnesium. Silicon magnesium all under here. Is that the only one you can have? Or can you have two? Like if I went to space, could I have one in space and then one at the base? Okay, so you can have as many as you like. Okay. Because I was also thinking about, you know, if I want to do a lot of exploring around here, like if I died now, it's almost 15 kilometers to the base. But if I had a bigger ship like I want to go around collecting things, could I put one in that? Or like if I was up in space, have one in space and then one down here on the ground, so somebody blew up my ship. What do I have on me? Just that right now. Okay. So survival kit, that's what I was trying to think of. And I want to put the medical room in the base. Because I tried that in the other playthrough that I was doing, just trying to get, you know, trying to learn stuff. And it recharged a lot faster, energy level. But it was expensive. Med bay, yeah. Still trying to learn all the terminology with this game, but I am having a lot of fun at it. I like building stuff. More silicon.
Fuel critical.
Duh, I'm out. Yeah, see the first time that I played the game, like I said, I've got that one saved and I tried different things on it sometimes, but it actually landed, the pod landed on ice. So that was pretty good. The problem with it was there was nothing else around it. You have to travel a long distance to get anything else. But now I'm getting my resources built up. Filling my cargo containers up. And I want to try the hydrogen engines. I have not tried those yet. Let's see, here's a good lesson for me. Always check your bottles before you get out. And so I have one filled up. So I'll put that on me just in case. And I think, yeah, that's the only one I got out. Batteries. Batteries are good. And my H2O generator is full of ice right now. And there's closer ice to me. Yeah, I wanted to build a some kind of wheeled vehicle, but in this area, that would kind of be a waste. All the mountains. But you never know, I might find a better place to build a base. It's driving me nuts where it's crooked. Yeah, that's what I want to do next, is build a small ship just to get me up there, just so I can get into space and have a look around and try that. And I do have cobalt. There is a couple of places that are near to the base that have cobalt in them, and I have collected some, but I need to collect more. I haven't collected any since I built the regular refinery. And on that, I put the regular refinery. I did 2 yield modules, a speed module, and a power module. I think it's getting dark on me. I am pretty high up. I think right over this mountain here. Yeah, this has been a big learning experience because I am not a mouse keyboard player. This is actually the first game I've ever tried doing a mouse and a keyboard. But it is a lot easier than doing a controller. There's my base. have one. Yeah, I've watched people come flying into their bases and really fast and land really fast, and I'm like, how do you do that? Guess it's just practice. Oh. Easy now. Yep, wrong one. Haha. Success. It takes me a while, but I get success. Oh. Did I put those bottles? Yep. And I still need to build stairs. I left the door open. And so that I don't forget, which I have before, I'll put those right back out there. I still have 3 bars. So like I said, I've been collecting my ores and building stuff, and I'm doing, well, I was doing pretty good, but I need to collect more because I'm starting to run low again. And I built a bunch of bulletproof glass to put glass around the other ship, and then found out I didn't like that idea. But you learn. And what I did over there was I've got both of these coming down and going into there, going into the mountain, and then I have a small cargo container here, so that I can get stuff out when I was building on that ship, because I got tired of running down those stairs. But I had put glass all around the front of it here so I could see better, and I don't think that's going to work. I don't think any of this, well, most of this is not going to work. It just looks like a brick. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is tear most of this down and use the stuff to make a smaller ship, and then head for the stars. I want to see that moon. I want to walk on the moon. Always wanted to be an astronaut. Oh, I am charged up. So I think I'm going to get off here for this evening. And tomorrow I'm going to stream some more. And I'm going to start working on a ship to take me to space, because I want to do that. So I will see y'all in the next one. And thank you for watching. And until the next episode, have a good one.